for a handful of upset Maaco customers. The Lansing Auto Body Shop closed unexpectedly last month with several cars trapped inside. It's a case that was brought into a local courtroom today, and our KIYERRA Lake is here for you tonight with the ruling.
Trying to help these people to get their cars back as quickly as possible.
I agree, but under the law.
Which we now know is 10 days. So the countdown begins.
If that's what we have to do, then let's do it.
Maaco customers, including Conrad Morrison, have to wait about 2 more weeks to get their vehicles back. Some of them have had their cars trapped for months.
My car's been tied up for 13 weeks.
With no word from Douglas Parks, the owner of Maaco in Lansing, for more than a month. And after he didn't show up in court today, a judge ruled that he can be evicted, just not today.
Well, I'm sad over that. I'd like to have it in other people's vehicles today, but it's not going to happen. I guess the earliest it's going to happen is the 21st.
And they aren't sure if they will get their deposits back, which for Conrad is $600. We reached out to Maaco and we're still waiting for a response.
I hope our vehicles are there. I hope they have not been sold to a chop shop or to scrap. That would be bad. I've got to have the faith, though.
The Ingham County Sheriff's Office says the plan is to evict Parks on the 23rd of this month. Locks will be changed, and that same morning, people can get their vehicles back. They'll just need to have a valid ID and the title. Here for you in Lansing, KIYERRA Lake, 6 News.
Months of waiting, vehicles trapped inside a shutdown Maaco shop will be released to their owners. It's our top story tonight at 6. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones.
And I'm Lauren Thompson. It's a case we've been following for nearly 2 months.
The owner of the Maaco in Lansing stopped showing up for work, leaving his customers' cars locked inside, but now the wait is finally over.
A judge signed a court order and the owner of Maaco will be evicted from that building tomorrow morning. Our KIYERRA Lake is here for you now live with the details of what customers need to bring with them to get their vehicles out. KIYERRA?
Lauren and Sherry, the doors to this Maaco, they've been locked since the first week of December, but this all changes tomorrow. The Ingham County Sheriff's Office will be here to make sure that all the customers get their cars back smoothly.
But they're telling me 9 o'clock, I'll be here at 9.
Because that's when sheriff deputies plan to arrive. The locks to the building will be changed and people can claim their cars.
I'm happy that our vehicles will get out of there, but it would be nice to get our down payments back.
The owner of this Maaco, Doug Parks, left customers in the dark.
Yeah, my brother, about 20 years ago, he said, I have no problem with Doug. He did good work on my vehicle.
Yeah, they used to do pretty decent work for the price.
Yeah.
But that's no longer the case.
Come on now. He had a lot of people that was actually dependent on him and his service. And like I said, he's been a good guy up until now.
There's no word on what condition the cars will be in. So, deputies are asking people to have a backup plan, like a towing service, just in case their car battery is dead or their tires are flat.
I got AAA road service. I have no problem with that either. 100-mile radius.
And deputies aren't sure if the keys are in the building, so if you have a spare, bring it. You'll also need to have your driver's license and the title.
Title, ta-da-ta-da!
This is the only way the deputy will release the car to you. As for Doug,
if he was here tomorrow, I would wish him well, and he can kind of guide us what's going on.
But not everyone shares this way of thinking.
It's a terrible thing to happen. I've never seen this in a business ever in the 63 years I've been alive. I've never seen this happen to a business.
All the vehicles that are not claimed and that are left inside the shop, the sheriff's office says that they will be impounded. Here for you in Lansing, KIYERRA Lake, 6 News.
After more than a month of waiting, people are finally getting their vehicles back after they were trapped inside a local car shop. It's our top story at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. This is a story that we've been following since the beginning of December. The owner of Maaco in Lansing stopped showing up to work and his customers' cars were left locked inside. Our KIYERRA Lake has been following the story since the beginning. She's here now live at the shop on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. KIYERRA, I can imagine it's been pretty busy down there this morning.
That's right, Siobhan. The Ingham County Sheriff's Office actually showed up about 4 hours ago to put up this eviction notice, and then once that was done, they were able to change the locks to the building. While all this was happening, a group of customers gathered behind the building. There were a lot of them just to wait, and the Sheriff's Office tells us there were 34 cars inside. In order for the people to ride off with their vehicles, they needed to have their ID and the title, but it wasn't that easy for everyone. Tow trucks were also on site to help people if their vehicles wouldn't start, and while this was a joyous day for some, others left upset.
And it didn't do nothing to it. This is crazy. Look at this all on my truck, man. I came in here spotless.
Doug is my neighbor. He lives 2 miles from me. I thought I could trust him. Well, it was an experience.
And as you can see here behind me, the road isn't over for a lot of these customers, and they're still wondering if they'll ever see their deposits again. We'll have the rest of this story tonight on 6 News. Here for you in Lansing, Kira Lake, 6 News.
After months without their vehicles, the doors are forced open for customers at a local auto body shop. It's our top story at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Thompson.
And I'm Sherry Jones. The owner of the Maaco in Lansing stopped showing up for work, leaving his customers' cars trapped inside.
It's a case our Kira Lake has been following for nearly 2 months. She was there when people finally got their cars back, but she's here for you now to explain why some of them are still upset. Kira?
Well, after this case was brought to court at the beginning of this month with a no-show from the Maaco's owner, a judge approved for him to be evicted today. And while these customers were excited to finally be getting their cars back, they waited anxiously for the shop's garage doors to open because they weren't sure what conditions their vehicles would be in once the Ingham County Sheriff's Office let them inside.
The Ram's running.
Having his truck and the sound of his engine put Larry Miller's mind at ease, but just for a moment.
And it didn't do nothing to it. This is crazy. Look at this all on my truck, man. I came in here spotless. I thought I'd be happy, but I'm mad as hell anyway because of the condition they left my truck in.
He's been waiting for months for the owner, Doug Parks, to finish the work he was promised, along with Jeremy Whittam.
I thought I could trust him. Well, it was an experience.
The group here behind me, these are the people who are hoping that their vehicles are still inside of this Maaco. And the Ingham County Sheriff's deputy that I spoke to says there are 34 vehicles that need to be claimed.
My truck is actually 2 cars that way.
Conrad Morrison was the first person to tell us he was having problems at Maaco with Parks. This was at the beginning of December, and he hasn't seen his truck for more than 15 weeks.
It's almost like a homecoming.
And he was shocked to see all the people who were in his same boat.
Yes, that is a lot.
Parks is officially evicted from the building and all the locks have been changed. But Morrison wonders, how did Parks allow this to happen?
Oh, that's just hard to believe.
Some of them gave Parks a down payment and others paid him full.
I called Doug Friday, the first Friday in November, and he said, "Don't call me again, I will call you." And that's when the situation went bad.
So, customers have been turning to Maaco's corporate office.
Supposedly arrangements will be made to do the work that was promised. A promise made should be a promise kept. But as far as offsetting expenses to transport the vehicle, to if the keys are missing, there's different expenses with that. So it might not be over today.
And I did reach out to Maaco's corporate office, and they say they are working with these customers on a case-by-case basis. And we do know that there are 22 out of the 34 vehicles were claimed today, and the ones that were left behind have a new home tonight. Swift Towing in Holt. Lauren Sherry, back to you.
All right, great job following this story from day one.
Yes.
Thank you, Kira.